Well, in the words of Mr. Big, when it's through, it's through. Fate will twist the both of you. So come on, baby. Come on over. Catherine, what's next? You've walked away.
Let me be the one to show you, is it?
Let me be the one to show you. You're with No Dribble. Strap in! No Dribble's Friday edition. My name's Carolyn Swindell.
I'm Liz Ellis.
And I'm Kath Cox. You've got a lovely voice there. Catherine stepped away, presumably to go to the bathroom, but we are going to press on because it's Friday morning. Diamonds have been in camp for a week. Suncorp Super Netball is just a distant memory. But one thing we didn't talk about was there's a lot of other netball that went on around the country last weekend too. So New South Wales junior state titles. Now, I know people think we're too New South Wales centric, and I think that that is a valid perspective. But do you know this is the largest netball event in terms of participation in the Southern Hemisphere?
I think it's one of the biggest community sports events, netball, anything.
Yeah, thousands of players joining out there to play. And this is the thing, you know, so the Super Netball Grand Final is obviously amazing and it's important, but it's only one thread of the great netball community that we are part of.
It is. And, do you know, every state has these events and they are fabulous, not just for the netball that gets played, but for the dress-ups. So dads often get in there and dress up.
Yes.
And lose their voices, and it's fantastic. So I do love, I think we've talked about this before, I love senior and junior state champs. So yeah, New South Wales had their junior one this weekend just gone. It was fabulous.
And that is chilly. But there's something going on up in Queensland, I think, that Laura Langman's playing at. Does anyone know anything about that?
Oh, is that not Maria Tutaier's one?
I don't know.
The Fire 5 or whatever it is?
Someone just sent me a note and said, Talk about what Laura Langman's doing. And it's like, well, I don't know what Laura Langman's doing, but I'll ask, because I'd love to know what Laura Langman's doing, but clearly we don't know anything about that. So perhaps we'll put that down as a to be investigated.
I just assume whenever anyone says, what's Laura Langman doing, like she's running marathons or triathlons or climbing mountains or doing something unbelievably impressive.
Something amazing.
Yeah. What's Laura Langman doing? Something amazing and outstanding.
Yeah.
Can't tell you, but that's what it would be. Yeah.
But Catherine, what are you doing?
Going to Queensland because this will be Friday, so I'll already be in Queensland, obviously, everybody. And going to see the fam, but then we're also going up north towards Bundy for a bit more warm weather for just a week to chill. And I'm very excited about it because as soon as I get back, I've got about a week of prep before Comm Games start.
Oh. And are you going to Glasgow?
No, I'm doing it in the studio.
Oh, right. I can't say Glasgow. Normally, I have to say it like that. I'm just Glasgow. It's in the contract. So you're doing it from you're doing it from the studio in Sydney.
Yes, yeah. So that'll be
Kim
exciting.
Green.
With Kim Green, yes. So when I get back, I'll get my head around all those stats and teams and who's where and who's doing what and all of that palaver.
Have Jamaica announced their team yet?
They have not.
Okay.
But I heard a rumour now that Ronaldo Aiken-George is playing now.
Oh, interesting.
Remember Gordy said on the podcast last week that she was not. Yeah, apparently she is now.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Well, exactly.
Yeah,
it makes them now a bit more of a threat. Yeah, they've got something, a big target up the front who's in good form.
I'm also glad that Romelda gets to finish her career, I guess, you know, Fever being bundled out of the finals. It's sort of like it is an incredibly long and glorious career, and I think it's nice that we get to see her playing again on the international stage. And I mean, surely she's finishing now. Like, remember, she can't go another year, can she? Like, there is not enough tape in the world to hold legs together after that many games of netball, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, apparently all of the speech at their gala dinner was that she's not going anywhere. She wants to keep playing. So, who knows? Can't imagine it's going to be in WA, though, because they have Fal and Emmard back. But there you go.
Well, that's very interesting. And what do you care? The record's gone, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
really,
She can play as
if
long
she'd
as she wants
retired
now.
last year, that would have been helpful. But now she can.
That'd be lovely, Catherine. 2 weeks with your fam in Queensland.
Yes, and
great.
hopefully it's warm and not raining. We'll see how we go. And Elizabeth,
Well-
what do you do now? I mean, I know netball doesn't stop, but you don't have the super
No.
netball to think about.
Yeah, nah, netball just doesn't stop. Someone said to me last year, do you get some time off? No. No, because the next thing we'll roll into will be Commonwealth Games. I'm not going to the Commonwealth Games. I will be watching from home. And I'm I'm actually looking forward to getting up for netball in the middle of the night and maybe not football in the middle of the night. So that'll be a treat.
Well, you don't have to get up for that anymore. That's done.
No, that's
Yeah.
true. Oh, no, but, little fella likes, he loves Portugal and so he will still be getting up. He's football mad. But, so no break really. So Comm Games and then Constellation Cup. And then, in August, we'll do a big celebration for 1 year to go to the World Cup. And there's an enormous amount of
my
work going on to deliver
God.
that. So, it's like really now until August next year, it is just absolutely just the treadmill is pumping hard. So I will take a week off in the first week of December, I think. And until then, it's just all
Okay.
systems go.
Well, I'll have a little rest on your behalf because it doesn't
Thank
sound like
you.
you're going to get one anytime soon.
No, and it's a school holiday. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to think of things to do with the children.
Yes, that's annoying too.
Exactly.
Hard work. And
One of the
Caroline,
things
yes,
that-
what are you going to do? How are you going to cope?
Well,
You get your weekends free. You'll have to come up with some other thing.
Reason to drink
yes.
gin.
I have I have a lot of things that I didn't do at them, so I'm trying to finish a book, and I will knuckle down and try to get back to that. And but finally, last week while I was in Cairns, my acting agent rang me and said, "I've got an audition for you. Are you in?" Actually, she was trying to contact me all day, and we were out on the reef, and it's like they want you for an audition today at 3:00. This is for an ad campaign. And I didn't get this thing until afterwards. So I contacted her and said, sorry about that. And she came back to me and she said, well, they want to Zoom audition you tomorrow. They're extending this. Are you interested? And it's like, yeah, okay, I will. But so what I did was even worse than doing a podcast with your family around is doing an acting audition and having to banish them to bedrooms in the Airbnb apartment that you're staying on. So I had to get the laptop set up in front of me. I found a stepladder, had a stack of books, got this up in front of me and had to have a bare white wall, good lighting. And then they're feeding me all of these lines and saying, great, now can you do it as a member of like an Eastern European aristocracy? Great. Now can you give it to us as a Texan cowgirl? And I'm having to just respond to all of these challenges that they're throwing up for me, which are very fun, but all the while knowing my family are going to crucify me. They will respect this moment while I'm in it, but as soon as I turn this damn thing off, I am going to be mocked mercilessly by my family. So that was very funny. I'm glad I did it, but it united the family in mockery of me.
Can I ask for an early Christmas present?
Well, you can ask.
But ask whatever you like.
I would
Whether you
like
get it or not.
the Texas schoolgirl right now. Go.
No, there was no Texas schoolgirl, you
Did
weirdo.
you say
It was Texas cowgirl.
Oh,
No.
you're the Texas cowgirl.
That's very funny. Look, no, maybe I will do it at some stage between now and Christmas, and then it will be an early Christmas present. But at the
Have you done that on AI where you get them, you say to AI, write out something, and then you say, make it a poem, make it hillbilly, and make it a girl? Absolutely, you need to. It's the funniest thing. My sister and I sometimes, because we're old and silly, and this is what we do for fun, we'll put things into AI and then get it to talk to us like.
Oh, brilliant! I need to get onto AI far more than I already am. I'm missing out.
Oh, look, I'm sure people use it.
It's not good. It's not good for the planet. It uses too much energy, too much water, and will put lots of people out of work. So we should, it's fun, and I'm not saying I don't use it, but we do have to be judicious. We have to be.
Okay, well, I think the hillbilly
But
was worth
I actually. What was that?
The hillbilly poem was worth it.
Well,
I want the people
that's
really calm.
creating joy, right? That's bringing joy. So
It
it's
is.
like, do it for something like that. Don't do it, write me an email to the schools. Write your own damn email to the school about, something.
That's true. I mean, I do worry about it, in terms of people losing their jobs. Maybe that's what it should be for. If it's not funny, you can't use it.
Yes, well,
Yeah,
I think
it should be.
that's very reasonable because what it can't do, and this is the thing, is I don't think it will ever get to a point where it can replace comedians because it can't be funny, but it can take your funny inputs like that and give you something that then you can use. So I don't have a problem with that, but I do think we just have to be careful. Like young
Have
people
you
need to learn
watched
how to write.
Hacks? Have you watched Hacks?
Hacks
Yeah.
with Gene Smart. Yes.
No. Gene
Oh.
Smart? No. Anyway.
Hacks about the female comedian, or is it hacked?
Yes. No,
Okay,
Hacks
yeah,
about the
Hacks.
female
Yep.
comedian. Yeah,
Yep.
they talk about that as one of the episodes.
Oh, do
AI
they? That
stealing
must be
comedy,
in the
yeah.
last series. I haven't seen that yet. That is
Very
a
good,
great
get on
show.
it.
Liz, if
You
you've
know
not
what
seen
AI
it,
won't
that's
replace?
funny.
AI won't replace sport.
No.
That's true. It won't replace
No,
sport.
it won't replace sport. But one of the things that I did think about, this is really off topic, years ago, was when those VR headsets came out. I do wonder if one day we won't bother building sports stadiums. The athletes will just play, and we'll all put the VR headsets on and pretend we're on the stadium together. And
Oh my God.
I know, I sort of wondered if that is how things would go. I don't think that's how we're looking at the moment, because then you can't come to a no dribble event. So as if you're going to do that, but maybe if
it's
you
not the
can't get a
same.
ticket to the game, you can get a VR headset and pretend
Well,
you're
I
there.
think that's where it would be great, is
Imagine that.
enhancing the experience of people who can't be there. But that whole collective emotional experience that you get watching sport live or live theatre or something, that it can't be replicated if you're not in a room with other people having those same sort of
No, and when
emotional
I was,
responses.
And when at the grand final on Saturday night, where I was sitting, just to my left was a whole bank of Thunderbird supporters. I think it was 2,500 or 3,000
Massive,
tickets.
wasn't it?
It was amazing. And so I think had they not been there, it could have been a really dull atmosphere because, with the margin. But they just made it so amazing, and they had the T-Birds chant going, and it was phenomenal. And I was watching them, and they were all so happy and joyous at the end. And I thought, and as you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, you can't replace that sitting in your lounge room.
No. Georgie Horges's dad had a jester hat on, was standing out in the crowd. Like, good on you. Not trying to just be inconspicuous and sit there and, he's like, get right into it. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's so cool.
One thing I think we need to think about as a sport, or as the spectators of a sport. So we really follow the emotions of the game, and it's like when our teams start to lose, whichever team this is, the crowd goes silent, and it's like, and it takes the players on court to turn that around to lift the crowd back. But actually, what the crowd should be doing is giving that energy to and that belief to the players. And I don't know how that happens, but you feel it, and you feel like, I certainly go to Swift's games, and we've had a lot of experience recently of things silencing the crowd and us going, we don't know what to do. And, someone will come over and start a let's go Swifts, let's go. And it's like, well, first of all, I think you need to do it 3 times minimum to get the crowd their own momentum.
Well, it's what they do in the basketball, isn't it? They always do the defense.
Yeah.
They have their little things that they do consistently across the game to keep the energy up.
Yeah. But I don't think we want the constant PA sound. I know that there are a lot of people in the Facebook group who talk about how they didn't like that at the Mavs. It was too loud, and that's changed, and that they're enjoying. But there must be something that as fans we can do where you get these super fans, and that their job is to be just a fan, but to be those sort of hype people within the audience. Because I feel like we follow the energy as a netball crowd rather than create the energy. And it's like, we've got so much to give.
I went to a football match, a soccer match in Munich once at FC Bayern Munich, and there was a whole segment of the crowd who were like the hype segment, and they, for the full 90 minutes of the game, had their arms around each other and sang and jumped the whole game, but they had their backs to the pitch. right? So they were just watching the rest of the crowd,
Yeah.
hyping
Oh,
up the
wow.
crowd. So they didn't. They must do that and then go home and actually watch the
And
football on
pass
the
out.
replay.
Yeah.
But it was such an amazing atmosphere. And I mean, we didn't know the first thing about what was going on. We just went and bought our merch and sat in the stands and think we're really cultured because we've been to football in Europe. But it was such an amazing atmosphere that I couldn't tell you who won.
I think the
and
easiest
that
thing
like
to
the
do.
Barmy Army.
Yeah. The
They have
easiest thing to do is just put a little buzzer on every seat in the stadium. And when you feel like the crowd's getting a little soft, somebody just gives them a little shock. They're
A
all
little
up and
jolt.
about.
I like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
You can control it very easily.
Yeah,
You'll go
that'd be
places,
great.
Catherine. That is
I
a,
will, won't I?
that-
Probably
yep.
to
Maybe-
jail, but no.
Yeah, maybe just stick to commentary.
But yeah, the Barmy Army has people that they are employed to go, the musicians, the trumpeters and things, they audition, they get a job. They are employed to do this. They go along to the cricket, but it's like, you're on shift here. Your job is to keep the people singing and win or lose. And there's a lot of losing if you're an English cricket fan going to Australia for the Ashes. They are having a fantastic time regardless of what's going on the field. And it's like, that's something I would love to see us as netball audiences have a think about. How can we do that? How can we give energy back?
Good call. Get the thinking caps on, everybody, or just electrocute people, I think.
Yeah, that is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, in between someone doing, defense and electrocution, there's got to be something that's cool.
Something in the middle.
Somewhere. That's a spectrum of ideas, and we're open to other ideas. But
from hand claps to execution, find what fits in the middle. That's got to be there somewhere, right?
Surely.
It wasn't execution. It was just a little bit of behavioural modification, I think.
Right.
And electric current.
Might have been banned in the 60s,
Please taken
but
it too
whatever.
far.
Well, sometimes when it's cold too, you wouldn't mind a little bit of warmth from the seat underneath you. So, maybe we're looking at a couple of great ideas here. But we should take a break and come back and talk about some netball.
Yes. There is still netball. Phew.
There is still netball, and I would like us to turn our minds to next month, the Commonwealth Games, because I don't know whether you know this, but there are other teams in it than the Diamonds.
That's crazy
shocked.
talk. Why would you say that?
I know. So who do we think are going to be the medalists at the Commonwealth Games?
This is the problem because you just don't see anybody else, do you? I mean, we know the great
we
internationals
do. We know a lot of the New Zealand team
we
now.
do,
We know a
and
lot
I
of the
reckon New
Jamaican
Zealand
team.
will be a lot better for having their players over here playing this season, without question. I reckon they're actually back to being our biggest competitors.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be more England and Jamaica sneaking in there as the ones that we should really worry about. We definitely have to worry about Jamaica, but I feel like their shooting line's going to be a bit light on. Good that Ramel's going to be back there, but I reckon New Zealand's going to be our toughest opponent this time around.
I agree.
What about England? So they do not have Helen Housby, which is a great shame. So who are they? Who's their shooting end? Do we know?
Well, Eleanor Cardwell will be there. Sasha Glasgow.
Yep.
It's a good shooting lineup. They've obviously got Fran Williams in defence. I think Fumi Fidoju will be in the side. I'm not sure who else is in that team yet. I'll start to do that research next week and I'll be able to tell you all this stuff. But I hear they've picked Nat Medcalf in the mid-court for England. Feel like that's an interesting decision.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that she's world class anymore. That'll be a very controversial thing to say, but so it's interesting. I'm not sure who else is in the mid court for them. Obviously, no one that's been over here playing.
Imogen Allison.
Oh, Imogen Allison will be defensive mid court. Yeah, interesting that she's said goodbye to Suncorp Super Netball. Just on that
gone
note,
to Nottingham something starting with N. The Nottingham.
Forest?
I don't know. I think it's Nottingham something starting with N. But yeah, that was interesting that she's farewelled the Firebirds, and we're going to see another Kiwi in her spot.
Probably. Yeah.
So Pool A, Australia have England in Pool A. I'm just looking at the match schedule now. So, Catherine, when you do your research, no doubt you'll be looking at this.
Oh,
But
I know
Pool
the
A's,
pools, but that's all I
yeah.
know. Yeah.
So it's Australia, England, South Africa, Malawi, Tonga, Northern Ireland. And then Pool B is New Zealand, Jamaica, Wales, Uganda, Scotland, and Trinidad and Tobago. So I think we've got a tough pool, actually.
I think it's good though, don't you, Liz? Like, you don't want to
Yeah.
get to finals having only played, like if you're New Zealand, you play Jamaica, that's it. And the rest of them are going to be easy wins.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's a good thing when you suddenly get to finals, is it?
No, I'd rather be having the hard games early just to fine tune everything, particularly with a bit of a limited sort of warm up. So I think Australia's got the best pool to be in. I'm pleased with that pool. I am looking forward to seeing South Africa. Like, obviously, you know, the teams that are most likely are the top 5. So Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica, England, South Africa. But I'm a bit like, I'm a bit with you, Catherine. I think New Zealand will be vastly improved from their last turnout at the Commonwealth Games. And last time Australia played Jamaica at the final, didn't they? So I don't know. I can't. I don't want to say I can't see that happening because Jamaica is just so impressive. But they'll need to. I don't know what their mid-court's like. So they'll have a great defensive end. I don't know what their mid-court's like. But if I had to guess, so I know Carolyn wants us to make a prediction. I'll say in no particular order. I think it'll be Australia, New Zealand, and that's the obvious one. And then really, I think the next
I'd probably go England for third.
Yeah, England and home. But you know what? I'm going to go South Africa just to throw something different out there. If you go England, Catherine, I'll go South Africa.
Well,
What do
South
you
Africa
think?
beat
Not going
England at the
Jamaica.
start of the year, remember, in the test series. Was that this year? Yeah, they beat them
I don't know.
2-3.
there
Sorry,
you go.
they beat them two of the 3 games, won the series.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. What are you going to go, Carolyn? No, you're a netball expert
so-
getting interviewed on radio.
Yes, thank you very much. A live cross to me. Thank you with the headphones on. Neither of you have picked Jamaica in your top 3.
Well, only because their mid-court is always their area of weakness, and
Right.
now their shooting end is as well. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if they had Fowl and Nemard, they had Romelda, they had Nelson, my God, I would say Jamaica 10 times out of 10, but they don't. So I think that, there's only so much ball you can win back, but you've got to score off it.
Yeah.
But we think that they've got Romelda, yeah?
If they've got Romelda and Shanice Beckford, that's good. I just don't know what their mid-court's like, and I didn't see enough in the test series earlier this year to give me a huge amount of confidence in that mid-court.
One of the things I love about having all of the inputs in Super Netball is that not only am I more excited about the Commonwealth Games because I know more of the players better, and of course I could watch more of the New Zealand comp and the England comp or whatever. There's only so many hours in the day, right? But I'm really looking forward to the Constellation Cup too, because I just feel like, we've seen so many of these players, but this is brand new combinations for Australia and New Zealand that we haven't seen. We've seen them playing together and the like. I think it's really, from my perspective, and I have said this, I've enjoyed Suncorp Super Netball in the last couple of years much more than I've enjoyed Test Netball. I love the Super Shot, but I also just love a tournament rather than a couple of games. I feel I get much more involved in it. But now I'm much more excited about both the Comm Games and the Constellation Cup as a result of knowing players particularly from New Zealand so much better and seeing them and like going, look what Kate Heffernan can do when she's given half a chance. Like look what Karen Berger can do. I've really,
Kelly Jackson.
I've really loved it. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that for me is another massive tick in favour of us having, I kind of want limited imports per team, but that's maybe because I just want the Thunderbirds to give the rest of us a bloody chance. I don't know, but I totally see the benefit of going, why don't we just get the best players regardless of what their country of birth or residence is at the moment. So I've dodged a question.
You have.
But,
10 minutes later, we're still waiting for our answer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see New Zealand in that gold medal match. And if they are, I think that we should be worried.
Yeah,
I'm
good. That's the way we want
hoping
it.
that Australia will be. Well, absolutely, it is. I think it's great. It's better for the game.
But what about, so you've got Australia and New Zealand in the medal positions, and what about one more team?
Yeah, well, I'm going to say England, because you have convinced me. I do not know actually any Jamaican mid-quarters who I can sort of hang my hat on there. Like
No, you
I
can't
really.
go the same. You've got to go Jamaica just in case. Like, what if Jamaica end up in third and you'll just be able to once again say to me and Catherine, I told you so. What do you two know about netball?
Well, I will remind you that I was the only one who remembered the Thunderbirds existed when we were putting together our top 4 teams at the beginning of this year. All right. Well, I will go Jamaica then, and I think we're going to see, I'm just going to make something up now. I reckon we're going to see Scotland doing a whole lot better than we haven't expected in the past. I think Kath Tetley, Australian, is going to coach them to a surprisingly high position on the ladder, and I look forward to claiming credit for that.
Yes, and I also think you can say the same thing about the Tonga Talas. So they've been great, and I think Unique Pallavi's in that team, is she not? So I think we'll see Tonga. They're ranked number 9 in the world. I think we'll see them creep up. I think they're on the rise.
Well, and what I love seeing about the Tongans too, I'm going to my phone because I had to write this down a few weeks ago. So when the Tongans win something, they have the lolly necklaces. This is quite you've seen them when they anoint one another with the lolly necklaces. Nek ka ho ko ho'a. I'm sorry, my Tongan pronunciation, obviously hideous there, but you've seen it in rugby league. But Unique's family has been doing it when the Mavs have had wins, and they make these leis out of necklaces. These leis out of lollies. Have you seen these?
Actually,
no, but
lollies?
I would have tried so much harder if someone was going to give me a lolly necklace.
Yeah, and
I would have tried so much harder if someone was going to give me a lei.
That is funny, but we will definitely look forward to seeing that in the Comm Games. I hope that Tonga gets a couple of wins, but that's a good pickup. Yeah. So, but yeah, Constellation Cup dates have been announced in New Zealand on the 18th and 21st of October, and then in Australia on the 25th and the 28th. I think that's Sydney, Melbourne.
Yeah.
So definitely get around those. And Liz, we should talk briefly, and please, dribblers, it's Sunday. We had a big night last night. I haven't managed to do a whole lot of research on this, but obviously Diamonds memberships have been announced, and there's a lot of detail we don't have, but I love this. I love that we can buy a membership of our national team. Now, the way you can buy a membership to the Wallaby, you can be a Wallabies member, and sometimes that means it's related to a ticketing advantage. Sometimes it's just a way of going, I believe in this team. I want to be a member. I want to be part of the club that is the Diamonds. And yes, all those geniuses on Facebook who've worked out that this is all about a revenue play for Netball Australia. Yes, you've worked out how the economy works. Congratulations. Money helps the organisation build a better team and better comps, and we all win from it. So it is, of course, it's a way of raising revenue for Netball Australia, but that's what our game needs. We need to get bigger. So I love that there is a membership there.
Thank you. And I also think that this idea may have had a bit of a genesis in dribbler chat. So there has been lots of dribblers who have said we'd like a membership, and it's one of those things that have come up. And yes, it is at the moment for the Con Cup matches, which are in Sydney and Melbourne. But if you join, then as international test series get announced, then you get early access to tickets. You get discounts for Diamonds membership. So there'll be Diamonds merchandise. There'll be a whole lot of new merchandise coming out in the next few months. So you want to be able to get that early. And exclusive content from players, from your favourite players. So it is early days. It just got launched on Saturday night. But yeah, if you wish to support your Diamonds team, particularly in the next 12 months, which is really important if you play at the Commonwealth Games and, you know, bid for the 2032 Olympics, and then we've got the World Cup. So yeah, there's just a great opportunity to support a team that represents us. So yeah, go and get your tickets. Well, you membership.
Now, what do we think about, you just mentioned the Constellation Cup being in Sydney and Melbourne. Do we think we should do another live event? Or are we too much in people's faces? We might have to think about that, ladies.
Can we just give our livers? Can I just give my liver maybe a few days to recover?
No, because I'm missing everybody already. It's been a whole 24 hours.
Well, you know, the meat tray might sort of have a spin-off event for the blokes.
Oh, can you imagine? That would be fun. Although we did
It
get
would.
a good flurry of the blokes at our event the other night
The blokes could go and
that
have a great
enjoyed
talk about
themselves.
netty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
My
seeing the
husband
blokes
got a
there.
rest on Friday night, but I did have a couple of dribblers' husbands sort of say, "Is your husband here?" It's like, no, he's not. He's got a night tonight.
I need some support. I need some moral support.
I need my emotional support husband.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of us doing something. Obviously, the Constellation Cup in Sydney is on the weekend, whereas the Melbourne one is on a Wednesday night. So it's more likely if we have an event that it would be in Sydney, and maybe the night before works best. You know, we did it a couple of years ago before a test, but you guys had to nick off, and then I was just left to soldier on by myself. So
You are such a
champagne.
Thank you. I appreciate your acknowledgement of my hard work. Thank you. But we're going to have a quick break and we're going to come back. I've got a question for the goat. Okay. Yes, here we are. It's getting close to Friday afternoon. Soon we can all knock off for the weekend. But I have a question that has come through, and I'm interested in the views of both of you. But this comes from Willow, who is a Year 11 student from Victoria. She's writing a persuasive speech for English about why Australia needs to invest more in women's sport to create gender equality. She said, "I really admire everything you do for women's sport, so I was wondering if you'd be willing to answer one quick question." Now, I'm going to ask both of you for your thoughts on this, and who knows, maybe I'll come up with something useful too. But Willow's question is, what's the biggest challenge facing women's sport in Australia today, and what change do you think would make the biggest difference?
I think the biggest challenge is money, right? And that goes across all women's sports, the ability to generate enough money to ensure you pay your players well and you can invest in marketing and turn them into household names, right? So, and, drawing eyeballs to your product. I don't know yet that anyone has really nailed a commercial partnership which absolutely speaks to female fans of sport, of any sport, right? And this is not just netball. And I think the first company that is able to do that will make a lot of money, right? Because I think women are fans in a different way to the way that men are fans. And I think women connect to athletes and sports through storytelling and through understanding more about athletes more than what they do on the field, right? That's a gross generalization. I get that. I don't know, like what's holding back women's sport is, the large amounts of money that perhaps we see men's sport get. Again, one of the things that pops up often is, why isn't there a men's super netball league? And that's just money. I'd love to have a men's super netball league, but we've got to pay our female athletes a living wage first and well enough first. But so it is money. And I think that investment from corporates who go, and I'm going to pay a little bit overs at the moment, but I'm actually going to use our marketing budget to drive fans to this sport. And then we'll get an ROI a bit further down the line. So our investment will pay off, maybe not immediately, but it will pay off eventually. So I hope that helps.
Isn't that funny, the whole marketing thing? It's such a chicken or the egg, isn't it? You raise the profiles, the sponsors come, but you can't get the profiles risen unless you've got the money to invest in making it happen. It's such a difficult one. But no, I think you answered that well, Elizabeth. Caroline, what was your input?
There's something I've been really interested to think about, wherever you go. I talked about this on Friday night at the event, that wherever you go in the world, you see someone wearing a South Sydney Rabbitohs jersey. NRL team, one of the oldest teams, got a great long history. We have a couple of clubs, foundation clubs, who have a 30-year history, and I think we are getting better at sort of starting to really acknowledge the history. Unfortunately, just due to financial realities, we've had clubs that have to stop and start. Even just in the last couple of years, we've had the Magpies drop out of the comp, and then will we have a replacement? And then suddenly we've got the Mavs and the like. But then they're starting that heritage from the get-go. But I think, again, as fans, if we want to see change, like, we need to show that there is an appetite for that change. And part of that for me is buying the merch. being a member, showing that there is a market in this. And, I'm interested to see in our Facebook group over the last couple of days a number of men saying, I want to buy merch, but it's not being offered for me. And I don't know whether that was talking about Super Netball clubs or Diamonds merch or whatever, but it's sort of like, I think that is a great way for us to be showing brands that this is a sport that we're interested in. And if you're interested in us spending money on your product, then you should be getting behind this. I think what we're really good at as a sport at doing is going, well, this isn't good enough and women's sport doesn't get paid enough. And it's like, well, we have the power to make some change. The three of us have made some change here. We've done this for 2 years without actually getting paid for it yet. We've had a lot of fun and we really enjoy doing it. But we're trying to create another platform as another space where we can talk about it rather than going, well, the media's not talking about it enough. It's like, well, here's the conversation. I know Alexa Prino, your netball bestie, is trying to do the same thing there too. So I think that the biggest change for women's sport is money, but that actually it's not waiting for some giant corporate bag of money to start to pour down gold coins upon us, but actually us saying, I'm going to join a club, I'm going to wear the merch, I'm going to try to invite friends to the game who's never been along, because we know it's a great product. It's a great entertainment product.
You're so right. And I reckon we've seen that also in the last few weeks with the conversations on Facebook that people are going to their local pubs and saying, put the netty on. And the pubs will soon work out that,
good.
oh, if I put the netball on, people are putting it on socials and more people are coming and they'll buy more food and wine and beer and it's free publicity, right? So, but it's also having the confidence to stand up and walk up to the bar and say, can you please put the netball on?
Yeah.
And so I think that's, what I hope that people get out of this podcast is understanding that actually there's a lot of people doing it and have the confidence to go and say, I want to see my sport on the big screen here.
Yeah. So, Willow, I don't know whether you got a quote out of that's useful for a Year 11
But we got our agenda across.
Essay. Yes.
Yeah.
And look, but our view is everyone needs to go to the pub and watch netball. So,
and look, if you get an A
luck
for that,
with Year 11.
Yeah. You get an A for that, please let us know.
But it's a really great question. And for anyone, if you have a question for the GOAT, Elizabeth Ellis being the greatest of all time, Catherine Cox, of course, obviously being very close to the GOAT, like the assistant GOAT, and I'm the assistant to a couple of GOATs, right? So that's, but send your questions to info@nodribble.com.au. But I think that's,
it's just about it, but can I just say one thing? Last week we talked about my acquiring a RoboVac.
Yes.
And this week I just loved it. My mum was looking after the kids while we were away and she rang me and she said, I can't find your vacuum. And I said, Mum, the vacuum died, so we got the RoboVac. Well, I can't turn it on. I said, I can. And I sat in a cafe in Melbourne and sent the RoboVac out, which was great. But I did see a couple of disaster stories in the Facebook page about the RoboVac.
Kim Whittaker Evans one.
What happened?
So she set the RoboVac out and woke up at 3 a.m. to this god-awful smell. And for the first time ever, her dog had pooed in the house and the RoboVac ran over it and smeared it all through the house. So she was up at 3 a.m.
Cleaning not only the house, but the RoboVac obviously needed a whole lot of cleaning then too. It's like,
Yeah. Can you imagine? So that made me laugh. So
be warned if you have a RoboVac and an animal, you need to. There is a hazard
separate
that
the
in
two.
our at all odds we must.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on this week. A Suncorp Super Netball season where we saw so many mothers just doing extraordinary things on court. 3 of us, so many mothers doing extraordinary things with a laptop and a microphone. No, but that will be my overriding memory. Yes, exactly. My mother thinks I'm extraordinary. No, but that will be my overriding memory of season 2026 is not actually the necessarily any particular victories or whatever, but actually the Emily Mannixes, the Paige Hadleys, the Maddie Prouds, the help me out here. Who are the other much the Shamira Sterling
Shamira
Humphrey
Sterling.
and particularly Shamira sharing with us all the story about actually how hard it's been for her to come back, and I think that is a sensational thing that our sport can do that I don't know that other sports necessarily can or have. They haven't. Maybe they can in future, but they haven't so far. So primo.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and sleep for about 3 days.
I am too. The alarm is going off way too early in the morning.
Yeah,
all right.
you're
Well,
going on
happy
holidays.
travels, Kath, and have a great week, everyone. I'm Carolyn Swindell.
I'm Kath Cox.
I'm Liz Ellis. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, my God. Carolyn, can you believe that, Catherine, we just finished one event? You're still not over it.
Oh.
You've still got stuff to schlep home from Melbourne, and she wants to do another one.
I almost wept when she said that. And it's like, I know that we didn't really have a long production meeting before this because that's not our bag. But seriously, we're announcing an event. I'm bleeding out my eyeballs with exhaustion here.
Can we outsource it to Catherine?
Maybe Nikki.
Yeah, well, this is true. It would be great and it wouldn't get done. So, oh, well, I guess, let's face it, it's you. So let us know.
All right. I've better go and have a rest and another drink. All right. See ya.
Bye.